How you doing? Good evening. This is Greg, and this is the Absolutely Live interview. I am your creator and host, and today on our show we have an unbelievable magician and slash he's also a police sergeant, and his name is Jimmy Rook. He's the fabulous Jimmy Rook. So I'm very excited to invite him onto our show. He and I have known each other for quite a while. It's been probably about 20 years, I would say, close to 20 years that he and I have known each other. And I'm really excited for him to be on. I will ask him questions about his career, questions about him being a police sergeant, things like that. And as always, I really want to be sponsored by Hint Water. So I actually sent an email to the people at Hint Water and I asked them to watch the show. So I'll see what happens regarding that. All right. I'm just going to chill out here for a minute and wait for a couple of folks to join. Heather, I see you sitting there. Hang on. Jimmy Rook will be here soon, and then we'll get going on. I hope that you guys have been watching my shows on some of the other outlets like YouTube and also Spotify. You can listen to it on Spotify. You can listen to it and watch it here on Instagram. And I'm just really thankful that I've gotten some really good positive feedback from people that have been watching the show. I get emails all the time and messages all the time. So I really appreciate you guys. I hope this thing takes off. I'm having a good time doing it. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and see if Jimmy Rook is available here. And we'll go ahead and start talking to Jimmy Rook. Let's see. All right. Jimmy Rook's been invited, so we'll see what's going on. Hopefully you guys are all doing good. And next week we also have a great show coming up. I'll talk about that a little bit later on once we're done talking to Jimmy Rook today. Hope everyone's having a good weekend so far, or had a good weekend. It's Sunday night. So let's go ahead and do that again. Invite him one more time. Oh, there he is. You there?
I am here.
Are you coming to me from work?
I am coming to you from work. I am here. I got my radio and things, and it's a mess. But yes, I'm here and coming from you, right from live from my office.
Very nice. I like your office. I can't really see it that well, but it looks like it's nice. So, where are you, Jimmy Rook? There you are. Oh, there you go. Jimmy Rook's the champion. He's the WWE champ.
That's right.
Look at you, 3 stripes and all. I love it. Yeah, well, right? You know, you never know when you need the belt. Yeah. So how's it going?
Listen, it's great. It's great. Yeah, I show up to calls and I throw that thing over my shoulder, and people are like, "Oh my God, this guy's crazy. He thinks he's a world champion."
Oh no, I think we lost him. Man, let me invite him again. You know, you never know with technology, right? All right, so I invited Jimmy Rook again.
I'm here. I don't know what's going on.
Are you back? That's all right.
I'm back. I'm here.
I see your face, but you're frozen.
Oh, can you see me?
I can see your face, but you're frozen.
Okay,
no, I don't see you yet. Let me see if I can do this again. Hang on.
Okay, all right.
Hang on, let's see. Maybe shut yours off and then come back. Like maybe get out and then come back.
All right, hang on.
In the meantime, all right, so Jimmy Rook's got his outfit on. So his uniform. Jimmy Rook is a police sergeant. I'll let him tell you more about that. But he's also a fabulous, unbelievable magician who's been at it for a very long time. And we are going to talk about that. So far, thanks for the people that have joined in. Yeah, here we are. All right, you're back.
Back. Can you see me? Am I synced? Am I okay? All right,
yeah,
good.
You're good. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Number one. All right, my pleasure as well. Are you going to be interrupted or what? You're going to get a call?
Listen, we got to be careful. My commander's now watching. But if I get a call,
well, that's fine.
Right,
listen, if you got a call, you're bringing us with you.
That's fine.
You can bring us with you. I'll dispatch you
Yep.
to the call. So Jimmy Rook and I, the reason why we know each other is because we used to work together a long, long time ago. He was, there's your, I think that's your sergeant.
No,
No,
that's
I'm
my
not giving you
dad.
it. Oh, that must be a dispatcher. Okay. So
That
the
is,
reason why
she's my
we know each other is because we used to work together years ago. I used to work as a call taker in a police department here in South Florida. And, well, I'm not in South Florida anymore, but over in South Florida. And Jimmy Rook was a dispatcher there. So that's how we met. And now we're coming full circle where I'm interviewing him. And it's interesting, too. And I'll just get right into it. The thing I wanted to mention to you that was so memorable to me about us working together was because you were the magician, right? And people there who will remain nameless used to make fun of you. And it really bothered me a lot. And they would make fun of you trying to be a magician. I don't know how many years you were doing it before you started working at the police department, but I know that it was a significant amount of time. You're a young guy, but a good portion of your life you've been doing magic. And I'll let you get into that in just a minute. So I just want to kind of preface all this. So I left the police department. I went to a different police department in a different state, and Jimmy Rook stayed there. And he eventually wound up leaving to become an officer at a different police department in northern Florida. So we've always kept in touch. We've always, he's been a real good guy and a real good friend, and I've always been able to trust Jimmy Rook with things. He knows about my personal life, my background, all that kind of stuff. He knows my son and my ex-wife and so on and so forth. So anyway, so it's that kind of thing. I know about his marriage and, marriages and stuff. We've both been married multiple times. But anyway, let's not get into that right now. But anyway, I just want to say to you that I'm so proud of you for never being discouraged by everyone there and other people, I'm sure, along the way that tried to discourage you from being a magician and tried to derail your career and your career choice of doing that and also being a police officer, because I remember them also negging you out about being a police officer. Oh, it'll never happen. You'll never do it. You'll never pass the physical, all sorts of stuff. And so I'm really, really proud of you for coming as far as you've come. You're a police sergeant now. That is a big accomplishment. I just want to say I'm really, really happy for you. And also you have really come along as a magician. This guy's worked all over the country in the United States. I don't know worldwide, but I know that you've worked all over the country. And I'm just really very honored, and I'm proud to have you on the show, bud. So anyway, the floor is yours.
I am proud to be here. I appreciate it. You're absolutely right. So I started magic, much like every other, kid or every magician. I started when I was 7 years old, and I got a magic kit for Christmas after walking into, what was it? The Coral Springs Mall, not the Coral Square Mall, but Coral Springs. What used to be the charter school, turned into charter school.
Yes.
And they had a little small magic store in there that was like the size of a closet. And I saw the magician, and I became enthralled. And I want to do this. And I got a kit for Christmas that year. And then I never, ever put down a deck of cards ever again. I still have them with me. And, so growing up, I knew magic was always kind of like a good hobby, but I didn't know could be a career. And then it became fun. And working in law enforcement, as a dispatcher, it can be very stressful. So doing magic was always my passion. I got to entertain people and make them laugh and smile and take away any negative emotions that they had, or at least suspend reality for 60 minutes and just let them have a good time.
Right.
But yeah, there were a lot of naysayers that were there, who, you would say, silly rabbit tricks are for kids. I was a birthday party magician, and, hey, come and entertain. And it was more of a babysitter, right? Put the kids in front of me for 30 minutes and let the adults go drink beer.
Exactly.
Right. What I found is I hated that. I loved entertaining. And I love kids, don't get me wrong, and I love performing for kids and families. But it's really a great, great show for everybody to have a good time. And it's a lot of interaction. So I need that participation.
Right. Now, the show that you're referring to is just, you can go ahead and talk about your show that you have up in Orlando. He's up in
Yeah.
Orlando, Florida.
So yeah, so I'm here. So, which again kind of goes back full circle. So before I left and before I moved up there, actually before I left Dispatch, I wanted to move to Orlando. I came to see a show up here, and it was called at that point in time Shazam, and it was located inside
Mm.
WonderWorks. And the great Brent has been doing that show for 20 plus years, 22, 23 years, I think he's been doing it now. And I saw that, I said, man, I can do that. I can do that show. So after I moved to
Yeah.
Orlando, years kind of went by, and I kept kind of putting my name in a hat, And then, what are we in 2022? So about 7 years ago now, uh, Tony put online that he was looking for a fill-in magician. It's the Out of Control Magic Comedy Dinner Show in WonderWorks. And I sent my tape in. I said, hey, I would love to do it. He gave me a weekend, and then I've been filming in for him ever since. So I'm there sporadically throughout the month. It depends. Some months I'm there more than others. This month is busy. I don't have any
Yeah.
dates just because I'm shows and booked at other venues for March. And then April, I have I'll be at the Out of Control show. There's for 2 private events. I think it's the 15th of April, and then I don't have the rest of the schedule yet. But it's great. I've been doing that for 7 years, and I absolutely love it. It's a great venue. Love the Out of Control show. If you're up in Orlando, jump online, the Out of Control Magic Comedy Dinner Show. See when I'm there, Jimmy Rook, like I said, a couple times a month. But here's what's cool about the show is there's so many great magicians that perform there alongside of and fill in
Yeah.
alongside of Tony. So there's T. Tahoe, who is a world-renowned magician. Nathan Komarsh, who is out in Hawaii right now performing for I can't think of the name of the resort, but he's in Hawaii performing a 3-month contract out there. Scott Humston, who travels the world. So I'm in kind of a who's who of magicians, and there I am. Jimmy Rook is in the middle of it.
Yeah. That's amazing. And you know what? I wanted to talk about the big gig that you got. I mean, not that that's not a big gig, but it is. The one that you're going to go to, is it Chicago that you're going to?
Yes. So the Chicago Magic Lounge. So
Well, talk about the background, like of how you wanted to do that and stuff. Like, I'm interested.
Yeah.
You know?
So one of the things that I've always said, and in magic, magicians, really good magicians, they will create an effect, okay? And they'll create a trick. So, like this is a trick I'm working on, right? It comes in a box. This is a trick by a guy named Joshua J., who's a world-famous magician and is just an amazing mind in magic. But you come up with the effect, or they come up with the trick, and they market it for magicians. And Joshua did a little different in his explanation, which was good. But a lot of magicians or creators, they will send you like stock pattern lines of, hey, this is the jokes and these are things we think you should use in this trick. And I bought a lot of various tricks from a great creator, a guy named Bill Abbott, who's here in St. Augustine, who is coming up with a show himself in St. Augustine. So if you're in that area, go see Bill Abbott. And I buy anything he puts out. It's like that meme, take my money. Like, I want it, or I want to be first in line to anything that he makes, because it's quality material. But I felt like I was doing a Bill Abbott tribute show. I felt like every other magician that bought his things was doing the same thing I was. And although it was really good and the quality of this trick is great, I didn't think I, in and of itself, was unique. And I wanted to take that magic to the next level. And I think that's where I was kind of holding myself back. So when COVID hit, we had nothing to do. Everybody kind of went home. Turn my radio down a little bit. Everybody went home, so I couldn't perform anymore. So I reached out to a wonderful magician, Kayla Drescher, who is world-renowned and is out in Chicago right now performing Magic and Heels. That's the name of her show. So if you're there in Chicago now, please go see Kayla. So I reached out because she put a thing on online, says, hey, if you are a magician looking for some assistance and want to redo your act or whatnot, please reach out to me. We have nothing to do for the next 2 weeks. Here we are 2 years later. So I reached out to Kayla and I sent her my stuff, and she has a great podcast herself, Shazam. that's on all the major podcast platforms. And I reached out, I sent her my stuff, and said, hey, this is kind of where I'm at. The material is great, right? The material is fantastic, but the routine in of itself, there's not a lot of originality. What do I do?
Okay.
And she said, we started talking about kind of my life. And I'm doing this. I have my uniform on because for the longest time, I never wanted to combine police work and magic. I wanted to keep it separate. Well, now that's exactly what I'm doing is I'm putting it together. And I'm kind of showing the human side of police officers through magic. So I tell people in my show, hey, I'm a cop, which is something completely weird. I went years and never did that. Well, now I'm a police officer, and we're going to have fun together. And that helps the audience see law enforcement officers in a different light, right?
For sure.
Because I don't tell them right away. So when they come to the show, they're not coming to see the cop. They're coming to see a magic show, and then I kind of drop it on them about a quarter of the way into the show. So by this time, they either love me or hate me. So when I tell them a cop, it's not really going to affect what they think of the show from that point on. But knock on wood, so far, I've had nothing but great reactions from it. So anyway, I digress. Another great magician, Carissa Hendricks, who performs as Lucy Darling and just won Magician of the Year through the Academy of Magical Arts. She put online her set from the Chicago Magic Lounge, and she made it available for everybody to watch on YouTube and said, it's my own, it's something I can give back in the pandemic while we're on lockdown. Let's watch it. And I turned to my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. I turned to her and I said, I can play that room. I know I'm good enough to be in that room. It's just a matter of getting there.
Yeah.
So it was 21 months between that conversation and me doing my first show due to COVID, of me working with Kayla and working on routines and working on pattern and stories and tricks. And she was a great coach in a way of, like, she didn't tell me, hey, this is what you're going to do. She just offered a lot of suggestions and got me on that path where I knew the answer the whole time. I just didn't know how to find it, and she helped me find it. So now I'm looking at every prop, every trick, everything in a totally different aspect. Now, although the tricks or the effects may be similar to those you'll see other magicians do, the routines, the stories, the jokes, the truthfulness and the honesty behind them are unique to me. You won't see another tell that story. So after 21 months, I recorded a show at the Out of Control show, and actually, I know I stand by. I can correct myself. I recorded a show at a wedding venue. The wedding venue where I got married asked me to come in and do a show for their holiday party, so I recorded it, and then I sent it to Chicago, and I said, "Hey, look, here's my stuff," and that was the beginning of December, and I didn't hear anything for like 4 or 5 weeks. And then right after January, I got an email that said, hey, the YouTube link doesn't work. Can you resend it? Or like have an type of deal. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? So I fixed it. I resent it. And then I didn't hear anything for like 3 weeks. And then I was starting kind of discouraged. And this is like, now 2 months-ish, 2.5 months after sending them my tape, I was at the Out of Control show doing a show, and my phone was backstage. And then when I got done with the show and went backstage, I looked at my phone. I had an email from the guy from Chicago that says, hey, I want to talk to you. Are you free Wednesday? And I'm like, oh my God, okay.
Wow.
This is either going to go really good or really to be, hey, we'd love you to come up, or hey, thanks for your tape. We just don't have time. Or, here's how you can improve, right? I didn't know what he wanted to say. So Wednesday night, I had already had reservations for a date night with my wife, and we went out. And I love her so much because she's so supportive. I was like lights on, nobody's home. I was looking at my phone the whole night, waiting for the phone, right? Like, when is this guy going to call? And nothing. I didn't hear anything. And then I get home and I was discouraged, and I'm like, man, maybe he just forgot about me. Maybe, no news is good news at this point in time. And it was like 11:30 at night, our time.
Wow.
And my phone goes off, and it's Chicago. And the guy says, Ben Barnes up there, he said, listen, he says, I'll cut straight to the point. First of all, thank you for taking my call. Sorry I called so late. We just got it wrapped up here. We got busy. And they're open like 5 to midnight or 5 to 2, depending on the week. So, that's not unheard of for them to call like that late. So he said, I'll get right to the point. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was unique. I haven't seen a magician cop. And we want you to come up. How's April look for you? So,
Wow.
I said, absolutely. I 100% I'll be there. And this is really kind of, Greg, this is really that brass ring moment for me.
Yes.
Because, just what's today? So Friday night, I got an email from Chicago and it says, hey, here's all of like your performance stuff. Here's your contract. Here's what we need from you. Go online. You need to upload your photos to our Google Drive. And I stopped for a minute, and that's really kind of when it hit me, was just Friday, because I jumped on their Google Drive and I had to create a folder with my name, and I looked at the, maybe 100, 150 other folders that were there for magicians that have been performing there for the last 5 years. And it was really a who's who of magicians for me. There was Max Maven, who is a mentalist and has probably been on every TV show you could ever think of. And if I said the
Yeah,
name,
that sounds familiar.
yeah, he was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as a magician. Okay, Bill Abbott, the guy I was talking about, Joshua Jay, who I just bought his trick, is right here. He's been there. Faye Presto, Chris Hendricks, TC Tahoe, one of the guys I work with at Wonderworks. So it's really kind of a who's who of magicians. And now I see Jimmy Rook, and I saw my name there.
Yes.
And it was a really cool moment of, okay, this is real. Like, this is it. I'm doing this thing.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say I've made it just yet, but this is
Yeah.
definitely that brass ring moment. So I am excited. I would be lying to you to tell you if I wasn't nervous, but I am absolutely nervous. I'm opening for somebody who was on Britain's Got Talent, was in the semifinals of that. So she's performing for 30 minutes. I'm performing for 20 minutes. So it is a great, great opportunity. It was so cool about the Chicago Magic Lounge. And, this is my first time ever going to go because I've never been to Chicago. They have multiple kind of bars inside of the venue, and you enter through a
Hmm.
laundromat. And then
Oh, wow.
you can bar, and there's bar magic, and then you go to the show, and there's tableside magic while you're waiting, and then an hour-long show. And then after that, if
Wow.
you purchase like one of the front row seats, you get to go to another show like right after. So it's probably a good 3-hour experience of
Yeah.
different magicians and different styles of magic, and it's amazing. And I'm just so honored to be bringing my style of magic there, and also to be humanizing the badge while I'm there and getting the people of Chicago to see law enforcement in another light.
Absolutely. That's unbelievable. What a great story. Now, let me ask you this question. Are you going to make a special show for this event, or is this something that you've been practicing, for months or years?
So I'm doing about 20 minutes of my what I call adult show, right? So when I say adult show, it's not rude, crude, or offensive by any extent of the imagination. It's just adults tend to get the humor more than kids, right? So I kind of always
Yeah.
compare it to Shrek, where kids like it because it's magic, adults like the humor. Chicago Magic Lounge is 21 and up club because it's a bar. So you can't get in if you're a kid. I actually stay corrected. 16 and up can go to the main show with an adult accompany, but they can't go anywhere else, right? So this is
Yeah.
really kind of an upscale, nice night out. Like people dress up for this type of thing. So I'm doing 20 minutes
Yeah.
of my kind of tried and true material. I
Got it.
have a really cool routine where somebody's going to write me a ticket, and then I have another routine that we're going to talk about your worst fears in life. And then I have a routine. I won't go too much into detail about that one, but it's a very true story. It is it's not funny. It's very serious.
Hmm.
It goes in the total opposite direction of everything else I do, but it has a really kind of powerful impact. And more importantly, it's a very true story. that we'll save the story for another show, because that's a whole nother one. I promise you on that. But yeah, that's so I'll be doing those 3 tricks, 3 routines, and I'm bringing my whole set, because you never know, right? You never know what could happen when you're up there.
Right.
Maybe you book something else or something on the way. I'm driving, most because I don't fly. You know, I hate to fly. It's not the flying that bothers me; it's the falling 35,000 feet in a ball of flames kind of freaks me out a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
I get it if it's your.
I'm the same way.
My question is, what if it's the pilot's time to go? You're kind of SOL at that point in time. So I'm going to drive up, and also, this is so big of an opportunity for me that I do not want anything to happen on the airlines with my luggage, right? Because my luck, I'm going to get there, and my show's going to be there, and I'll be like,
oh, yes.
So
well, then you'd have to improvise, right? There you go.
I have a DVD from Max Maven, who has performed there, called and I can't remember the name. I want to say it's called Nothing. Is what it's called. It's called Nothing, and that's the concept. Exactly that. You arrive to a show, your luggage doesn't make it, and now you have to go do a show with what you find at like the airport or at a Walmart. And could I do it? Absolutely, could do it. Thanks to magicians like that who have kind of put things in my mind of, well, what would I do? But I don't want to risk it. So we're going to drive my buddy, Rob Campbell, who I don't see on here, but I'm sure he'll be watching a playback. Rob's a cop here from Central Florida, good friend of mine. And he is driving with me. So we're gonna GoPro up our trip from here to Chicago.
Oh, nice.
This way. There's bets of what city I'm going to drop him off at and then just leave. And he has bets how long before each other. But we're going to go to Nashville, stop for a night in Nashville, and then drive through to Chicago. And on the way back, we're going to go through Memphis and stay in Graceland, and then come back too. So we're going to have a little nice little trip there. It'll be good.
Is your wife able to make the trip or no?
So yeah, she is, thankfully. So what's going to happen is she's a dispatcher. So she just started in communications, so she has a lot of time off. But she's got enough days where she is going to fly up there, because she has no fear of flying. She's going to fly up there on Thursday with a friend of ours, Crystal. So Crystal and her are going to fly up Thursday, so they're there for opening night. They're going to be there Thursday, Friday, and then fly home on Saturday. What was so cool is I have another friend of mine who was going to fly up on Friday with her brother and sister. So they're all coming fly up Friday, and they're coming to the show Saturday, and then they're flying home Sunday. Nice. Every night to the audience, I'm going to see a familiar face there to support me doing the show. So that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
It just kind of takes those nerve wracks, because as a performer, you never stop getting nervous. You're always going to be nervous. It's just how you manage that nerves.
Yep. Oh.
I had a friend of mine many years ago, Sean Goldberg. He used to help me out running my music when I would do shows down in Coral Springs. And we were doing a show at a school for like a summer camp, I want to say. And, Jimmy is my stage name. That's what everybody in the match world knows me as. But we're backstage, and he calls me by my real name, and he says, "Can you bring Jimmy back, because you're driving me crazy?" And it's I get nervous, but when it's time to go on stage, it's like that light bulb moment of, okay, time's up, it's time to go, and then we're going on, and then it's just on. It's like, there's a specific song that I have that I play in my pre-show, and that's my, okay, I'm in the zone now. And then when they announce my name and I'm on stage, that's it. Game over. And I'm ready to perform, and all those nerves go away.
I totally understand that.
Adrenaline.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand that, as I was a performer for many, many years. And being on stage when I'm in a band or when I was doing improv comedy, it doesn't make a difference. It's like you always have those butterflies, even if you've done it 1,000 times. And I must have done improv. I mean, I did improv for 9 years. So I've been in front of an audience for 9 years. I can't even tell you how many performances I did. But every single time, I would have butterflies every time, and it never goes away. I mean, it
No.
goes away as soon as you open the first, skid or whatever it is. Then it's gone. It's work. It's go time. But there's always that performance anxiety right before, you hit that, or in a band setting. Right before I start singing, I'm nervous, but as soon as I start that first word, then it's all good. So I totally relate. I get it.
So it reminds me very much of, when I was talent. That was, where were we? That was in LA. And what's funny is they were filming it, and anybody who watches TV or knows reality TV show, what you see, it's not really real. Like, so I was filming in LA, and they said, hey, we need to put over Chicago, so we're going to pretend this theater is Chicago. So make sure to mention Chicago at some point in time in your act, and say, hey, whatever it was, hey, Chicago. So I'm in LA, and we were in the rehearsal, and I was doing this trick, and I was rehearsing with Nick Cannon, and I'm on the stage, and I stopped for a minute. I'm like, oh my God, like, this is terrifying. Like, I'm about to go on America's Got Talent. Oh my God. And then the call time came, and, hey, we're live. The cameras are on, and there's, 5,000 people in this venue, in this arena that, all eyes are on you now. It's like, okay, it's time to work. And it was great. And so I kind of compared it to the same thing, because all those nerves, it was, hey, once they said my name, all bets are off. It's time to go to work. Let's do it. Let's have fun. And that's it. And that's what,
you either sing or
and that, yeah, but it carries through to police work, because, I get an opportunity to present and travel and teach all law enforcement officers from across the world. And they can be a very tough crowd. But then once you open your mouth and you start talking and teaching, it's like, okay, I got them. We're good.
Right. Yeah. Now I want you to kind of let's divert into that. When you first became an officer, I mean, I know that you have all that experience as dispatcher. So how many years did you dispatch? Let's start there. Let's start at the very beginning of your career, your law enforcement career, which I believe you were a TAI, or what we call a TAI.
So look, we'll go back further. I started actually as a police explorer.
I was going to say an explorer. Yes.
I was 16 years old. So 21 years ago, I started volunteering my time as a police explorer. And I did that for a couple of years. And I got hired as a dispatcher. And that was in 2003. I got hired as a dispatcher. Mm-hmm. Right? I worked in dispatch from 03 to 05. And then I left 2005. And then I became a TAI in 2005, a traffic accident investigator. Yep. And then I did that for 2 years. Then back into dispatch in 07.
Yes.
And then
that's right.
Stayed there until 2010, when I went to the police academy in 2010. And that's when I moved to Orlando, is February 2010. I moved to Orlando. So, and then I went to the academy, Seminole State Law Enforcement Academy, and then got hired by my agency January in 2011, because I'll never forget, it was 364 days that I did not have a job.
Wow.
Because I had saved up to last me 1 year. I knew I can make it for 1 year comfortably, and then I better have something. And I applied. Really wasn't getting anywhere. And then my agency hired me as a dispatcher, and I started 364 days after I left Coral Springs. I started here at my agency.
Wow.
And then I did that.
Wow.
And I was still top. And then I had applied down in Palm Beach County as a reserve deputy. My parents were still living down that way at the time. So a big deal to be able to go down there. And I told my chief, I said, hey, I want you to hear from me. This is what's going on. I applied, and he said, cool. Well, I support you. Great job. And then the next week, out of the blue, he called the dispatch center. I was on the radio. And he says, hey, just curious, do you want to work here as a cop? And I'm like, yes. Yes. He says, okay, I'll be in touch. And then 2 days later, the background investigator calls me, and he's like, this conversation never happened. I need you to meet me tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I need to bring all my stuff? Am I getting fired? What's going on? And he says, your name came across my desk from the chief, and you're taking the physical agility test in the morning. If you pass the physical agility test, he is going to move you to the road. And I said, wow,
Wow.
that's unbelievable. Yep. I was so nervous coming in. I had no time to prepare. Like, conversation happened at like 5 o'clock at night, and I was going to work at like 7. So I get to work. I did my PAT test. I passed, and then the rest is history.
Wow, amazing. So that's what, 11 years ago, right? 10 years ago, 11 years
11
ago?
years. So, yeah, I started.
Amazing. That's incredible. Now,
Yeah.
can you like take the sergeant's test yet, or like what's your focus? What do you want to do? Do you want to go
So
further?
now I am a sergeant now.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
That's not what I meant. I meant captain. Sorry, or whatever the next rank is. Sorry.
okay. So actually, yeah. So my kind of goal is I'm very happy doing what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I have a great team that I lead, and I get to do a lot of things. The department has a lot of faith in me and the command staff specifically, and I really appreciate that. I specialize in impaired driving enforcement, and that's really where my passion is in police work, is impaired driving, and protecting the roads, our citizens. And that kind of goes back to Coral Springs from a call that we worked. I don't know if you remember, it was a double fatal on Sample and Woodside. It was just by that McDonald's. There was 2 cars coming out of Sample and Riverside, and there were 5 kids in one car, 5 teenagers in one car, girls in another. It was o'clock in the morning, and it was. I think it was 6 fatalities. Yeah, so I remember having to call one of the parents that night, and I said, "You got to go to the hospital. I want to do that again." And so now my career passion as a police officer is take impaired drivers off the roadway. So I get to do that. So I'm really happy. The one thing I never got to do is finish my education and get my bachelor's degree. That's one thing that's eluded me. Well, I am proud to say by June, the end of May, I'll have it. I'm in my last. I'm taking an online university, Columbia Southern University. I have 3 more weeks of this semester, and then I start my last one more semester. It's 8 weeks, and it's 1 class, and I'm done. So I'll have my bachelor's degree. It's key to move up and the key to go to the next level. So I'll have my degree, and then I'll have that opportunity, if I want to be in command staff, that I can put my name in the hat. I don't know if right now it's also an opportunity, if right now is the right time, but I know that at some point, I'm still young in my career. I'm 11 years in. I don't want to be a sergeant for the next 14 years. I do want to move up. It's just a question of when. But at least I'll have that golden ticket, so to speak, where I can.
Yeah. Right. Now, are you going to do 25, or are you going to do longer than that?
No, I'll probably wind up doing 25, is what I'm thinking. And that, thankfully, my chief. So when I got hired, my chief did me a big solid, because the governor at the time was changing the retirement system. And it was going from 25 and out to 30 and out. So that was effective July 1st, 2011. My chief hired me and swore me in June 14th, 2011. So I am grandfathered in old systems, 25 and out. So I'll probably do 25 is what I'm thinking. And I'll tell you, another opportunity. I don't want to leave law enforcement. Don't get me wrong. I want to stay in police work, but I mean, if I had an opportunity to tour and travel and make a lot of money doing magic, I mean, that's something I would absolutely have to consider and sit down and talk to my family about, and what's the best interest of them. And that's the most important thing. And my wife would be extremely supportive of that. But I'm not going to say no. It could be a brass ring moment. Who knows? I go to Chicago, and next thing you know, you're going to Nashville and Hollywood. In my mind, there's only one other venue in the world that is bigger than Chicago. And I use the word bigger loosely, because I mean it's really 5149 type of deal, and that's the Magic Castle in Hollywood. And I plan on sending my Chicago tapes to the Magic Castle to try to get there. Because the Magic Castle, that's like Carnegie Hall for a magician. Like you've made it in the magic world when you perform at the castle. So do you know people? That's my ultimate.
Friends of yours that have gone on to do that?
Yep. So a lot of the people at the Out of Control show TC Tahoe and Nathan Komarsh, two of them are off the top of my head. They performed at the Castle. TC was nominated one year, and he'll correct me, but I want to say he was nominated for every award that the Castle had that year. He lost every award, I think, but the fact he was nominated in every category and they do a big awards gala every year, kind of like the Oscars, right? So he was there. Akela Drescher, who's been a big inspiration to me the last couple of years, she performs there regularly. Jeff Kaler, who is a friend of mine, he performs there regularly. So I do know people that perform at the Castle. It's just that's my goal. I want to do that, and I know I'm ready. I know I can.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, knowing what I know about your shows, I know that you're ready for sure. There's no doubt about it. In fact, hopefully hopefully they stream or they record, the show that you're going to be doing or the shows that you'll be doing up in Chicago. Because me personally, I'm really interested to see them.
We'll definitely be recording it. I have to reach out. They actually supply a videographer there for you.
Oh, nice.
Let me phrase it. They've supplied the opportunity for the videographer, and then I was just talking about it with my wife. Well, there are a couple packages that we could pay for. What do you think? And I was gonna go. I was looking to save money. I was gonna go to the lower package, and it was like 2 cameras and stationery and whatnot. And she's like, "Are you crazy?" She's like, "Spend the money. You could get a good demo reel. Like you could use." No, she's like, "Spend the money. Get the higher package." I'm like, "Oh, well,
yeah, she's right. It's an opportunity, man."
Yeah, and that's what
right. Exactly.
It's an opportunity, and it's an investment into the opportunity. So yeah, we're gonna record it at some point in time. I'm sure we will release it. It'll be on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or something, because I want as many people as possible to see it, so that hopefully, God willing, I get picked up to go somewhere else. And
absolutely,
Magical Entertainment, call me. That.
Do you still, is it jimmyrookmagic.com? Is that your website still?
I changed it. So you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Magician Jimmy Rook. There is a website in the works. I don't have the name of it yet. I just don't know it off the top of my head. But the jimmyrookmagic.com was my website for many, many, many years. And then, police work became my focus versus magic. And I let it lapse. And now where I can kind of do both and balance both very well. And thankfully, I have a chief that is very supportive of that and supportive of my dream goals and me performing. So he lets me and gives me the flexibility to do both. And that's amazing. We're redoing the website with kind of that police theme. So it's in the process. So once it's done and it's up, we'll get all the information. But Facebook and Instagram at Magician Jimmy Rook. And that's where I'm at.
I liked one of the pictures you had. I'm not sure if it was on your Instagram. In fact, go ahead.
No, we're good. It's another agency. Yeah.
Okay. It's so funny that we both stop. It's like a dog, right? When a dog hears the bell to eat, they're like, what? I was saying, I think it was on your Instagram. It was a picture where it had you, I believe, like this with your hand, and in the background, it had the red blue light. Yeah, I thought that was a good touch.
Yeah, so my wife took all of those, and we did that at a show. And what was cool is I'm not a big editing person. I don't know much about it, but our PIO, who has also been a great supporter of mine, I said, "Hey, how do I make cool pictures?" And she's like, "Just go to Canva." I don't know anything about it. And I was able to do the background on that on Canva. So yeah, but she took that picture on an iPhone. Nothing crazy.
Oh, very good.
But yeah, that's
awesome,
that was good. Yeah.
Very good. I wanted to see if there's anyone in the that's watching this that has any comments or any kind of questions for Jimmy Rook. That's what I do at near the end of the show. I always see if anybody has any questions or anything like that. You can just send them to me, or you could just put them right on the screen. So I don't know how many people are watching, because I think it says 3, but in my past interviews it was lower, and then also I'm just getting wailed on with things. I'm like, wow, there's a bunch more people. So I'm not sure if that is an accurate count right up there at the top right.
Out, kind of all thing, and I've seen a lot of familiar names, some names I don't know. So I appreciate anybody that did watch and tune in. I'm very, very thankful. You know, this is a lot of fun. I've been, you
Good.
know, really happy talking and doing this.
Yeah, it's really
You
good
know,
to
and
see you too, man. I haven't seen you in so long.
I know, and I'll tell everybody listening, right? One of the biggest things. Oh, thank you, Katie. You see that? I did not. I did not pay her to say that, but I.
One of my favorite
Are you?
sergeants. I suppose we'll keep him. Katie, that was
Katie,
very nice
my
of you.
she's one of my favorite dispatchers in the world. So where I work,
Good.
it's a populated area, and thankfully we have a lot of cameras out in this area. So Katie is on the cameras all night long, and is absolutely
Wow.
another set of eyes and ears for the law enforcement officers out here, because we
That's
could be
great.
on one side and something else could be happening on the other side of the jurisdiction. We don't know about it, but Katie's on camera and she'll call right away. Hey, I got this over there, and that's fantastic. So
Yeah,
she is,
no doubt.
and I'll put her over. She just won Dispatcher of the Year for my agency.
Hey,
So
congratulations, Katie. That's great.
yep,
Congratulations.
very.
Listen, Katie, I
Um,
understand what the job's about. I've done it myself. When I left Coral Springs, I was a call taker. When I left there, I left to go to the city of Charlotte, which is 1 million people. And let me tell you something. I didn't stop from the minute I got done with training until the minute I left. So I get it. So dispatching is a really tough sport, let's just say, because it is a sport. So
yeah,
congratulations. That's a big deal to
yeah,
win Dispatcher of the Year. That's awesome. Very good.
yeah. She's great.
I was going to ask you,
Uh,
you were talking about the jurisdiction. How large is that jurisdiction that you guys are a part of?
so it really
That's
kind
for
of
my own
depends.
knowledge.
The
I'm
way it
just
works
curious.
is we have 75,000 students that are here. That's on our main campus. We're the largest university in the state, second in the country. Um, but we have
Wow.
like square miles on the east side of Orange County. And then we're in the downtown area. So I have 3 parking garages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings here downtown. And it's, it's much more, populated transit because people live down this way or they work, where I'm across the street from all the downtown Orlando. So,
Yeah.
it's just people are around and walking all night long. So here it's not so big, but we have here and then 1,000 feet around any of our property. That gives us a larger jurisdiction. So it's not just like the building. So it's not like when I walk out of the building, okay, it can't be a cop anymore. No, I have all of this downtown area, but I'm just responsible for
Yeah.
those buildings. If something happens in front of me, I'm going to take immediate action and I can affect the arrest or do what I need.
Yeah.
But I'm only responsible for taking the reports for the buildings. And Katie will tell you I am
Got it.
a shit magnet. Can I say it? I don't know. I just did. So, whatever.
You do
I'm a
whatever you
shit
want.
magnet. Yeah. Uh, and I'm always calling things out, and things are always happening in front of me. That's just how it goes.
Wow, man, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we're going to wrap it up, Jimmy Rook. This has been really exciting. Actually, I learned a lot. And I'm really glad to do that. Things I didn't know, and so I appreciate it, man. I really do.
Well, it has been my absolute pleasure to be here. I am just extremely honored and privileged, and I hope all your listeners had fun. And there's only one way I think to wrap it up.
I believe you. And now you gotta say 2 words. 2 words.
Magic always.
2 words, exactly. Exactly. All right, Jimmy Rook. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. And if you want to dip out, you can certainly do that. Katie, thanks for joining our show tonight. Everybody else, thanks for joining our show. I appreciate it. Katie, we'll have you on next week, okay?
Bye, guys.
All right, brother. Thank you. All right. Take care, brother. Well, that was Magician Jimmy Rook, also Police Sergeant Jimmy Rook. Going to wrap things up now. I just wanted to say thanks, everyone, for being so supportive of the show. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of DMs about our show, and really exciting. People are looking forward to the future shows that we have next week. we have an unbelievable band. This is a teenage band out of Los Angeles, California area. They're called Speed of Light. If you want to know more about them, just look them up here at Speed of Light. They're unbelievable. You will be shocked and amazed at how talented this group of kids are. They're all two brothers and a sister. They're kind of coming up next week. I believe the week after that we have international recording star and recording musician, unbelievable player. His name is Rudy Sarzo. This is a guy that played for Ozzy Osbourne. He played in Whitesnake. He also played for the Guess Who. Let's see, who else has Rudy played for? He's played for a number of different bands. You probably have heard of him. I hope that you have. He's amazing, an incredible musician. We also have Max Aceta. He is a local guy in Florida. He's another great musician. We have Chris Pete coming up. We also have who else? We've got Reese Scruggs coming up. We've got a lot of great musicians coming up. So primarily this is more of like a musician show, but I'm trying to kind of divert into different avenues, like Jimmy Rook. He's a magician. And last week I had the Rock the Mic podcast creator. His name's Mike. So I'm going to do other things other than musicians. If you have any suggestions on who I should approach to come on the show, please give me a holler. You can go ahead and send me a DM if you want. You can just put in some comments on some of these posts that I've got on the page, and I'll go ahead and do my best to try and get them on for you. Maybe a favorite musician of yours, anybody. It doesn't matter. Actor. We got an actor coming up, Nick Puya, coming up in a few weeks. So anybody that is in the entertainment field, anyone that's not in the entertainment field, that's doing something that you think is extraordinary, please let me know about it here at the Absolutely Live interview. Just send me a DM or put it in my comments. All right. Thanks again for everybody that came on tonight and watched the show. I really appreciate it. And my name is Greg. I'm the creator and the host here at the Absolutely Live interview. And I really hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for letting me be part of your night. And I will see you again very soon. Thank you very much. And I am signing out here on the Absolutely Live interview. Thank you.